Hi, welcome to the Crypto Metal Markets Report. Today's 13th of November. We're going to be talking precious metals, energy metals, and of course, Bitcoin. Okay, so looking at gold, we've got the weekly chart here, which we can see the bull flag we've been kind of following for, it seems like weeks and weeks here, and a sideways movement. And essentially we've seen 4 touches at the 1850 level, which is providing some degree of strong support. So even though we've had a breakout from the flag, we're aiming to go back up to the resistance area of the all-time high, and it's on the back of the Pfizer news and strengthening dollar, smashed back down into the flag again, frustratingly bounced off the 1850, and we're still kind of there. Generally speaking, we're looking at support 1850, but if it does break through that, I do believe, as I've said for a while now, that we should get down to 1765 to 1790, 1800 area before it'll find a bottom before moving forward. Now, there has been some talk actually going back, looking at gold markets in the last bull rally and looking at quite large sell-offs and retracements of 35%, which we did have in 2008 in actual fact. And that was the big rally we had going up to the sort of $1,900 level. Now, there was different scenarios going on there than there is now, particularly with regard to the money printing. That previous retracement, in my opinion, won't happen this time because we're in a different fundamental situation. We're waiting for the presidential election to be confirmed. In reality, there's still quite a bit politically to go through, so we don't really know, but it looks likely that it is Biden. Biden is going to produce a great deal of money printing in January, and I think the dollar will weaken since then. When you look at the 2008 situation and QE1, when that happened, gold absolutely took off, and I think this is what's going to happen here with gold and silver. And that's why I don't believe we're going to get to the 1375. It's obviously possible, and I have been proved wrong before, but 1765 is probably the if it gets down there, it may wick down there, but I think 1800 it'll probably find support into the 1700s before it takes off. But what other interesting point, if we look at stochastics, where we are now is actually more oversold than where we were in March. So that's another reason why I think once we have some degree of catalyst that's going to direct this market, news, whether it's going to be a weakening dollar or strengthening dollar, that will obviously change the direction of this particular metal. But I think what is very good is looking at the support where we are now. So with silver, similar story as we discussed several times. We're in this bull flag, we've come out, we've broken out, we've hit resistance around sort of $25, $26. In fact, it touched 26. I was watching it when it happened, and I was hoping that it was going to close above the 26. It didn't. We had the Pfizer announcement and it whacked back down. We did find quite a lot of support though around this sort of 23.50 level, and we've sort of bounced back this week, and it's had a bit more strength than gold in actual fact. Now, obviously we need to maintain this and get some clarity before it can move up into this resistance area, clear 26 to head up to the previous highs, $30 and more. But it is looking like it could head down. Stochastic wise, it's not like gold. It's March level. The weakness there in March was the area which is lower than where we are now. So it could basically head down to this level. The 200-day is around about $18. Obviously, silver is a very volatile metal, much more so than gold. So you could wick down to sort of 18, certainly $20 in this kind of area. The top end is probably around $28. We've got a wick up there around about 1960. So that's the kind of area. There's a lot of space here. So if it is going to go, it could go quite quickly before it finds support and takes off again. But it is seemingly, if we look at the daily chart and move on to this, it is the last 4 days. It's kind of trending doji candle way. It's sideways, and it formed this kind of rising support line. It's kind of outside of that now, so something is likely to happen. If it's not going to be today, it's certainly going to happen early next week, I would think, and give us some direction, and that's probably going to be related to the dollar, as we discussed. So looking at the dollar, Let's look at it on a longer time frame. So it's very bearish, but it is finding some strength here at the moment. This weekly candle has bounced this week off this kind of support line. So it's if it maintains this, it may head up to the sort of mid 90 levels before I think it ultimately, because of the stimulus, it is going to weaken the dollar. It is going to be, it's in a long-term, very bearish trend. Essentially, we've got this very bearish trend. We have had a cross on the monthly, so we could find support in the short term, and certainly into the end of the year. But once we get some clarity politically in America on the dollar, we will see a movement here, which is going to sort of drive the metals in the absence of any other information. If we look at uranium now, and move on to uranium, uranium's had quite an interesting time of it. It's been working. It came down this sort of channel, had a big sell-off, found support around 1750, then start building another channel. Nearly had a breakout, but then came back and found support around 2385, and it's touched that support sort of 3 or 4 times, and then we had this rocket ship takeoff. Literally, it moved up $10-12, and over the last few months it's been sort of retracing. But we've had this breakout, and we've been waiting for this breakout for some time. It's been a very unloved metal, and again, looking at the Biden scenario and what he's aiming to achieve from an environmental point of view, uranium could be quite a positive, and there's been some positive news coming out of America with regard to uranium. So I think this is the beginning of quite a long and exciting bull run for the metal, something that we're involved in here at Crypto Metal Research, and our members have got energy metals and forming positions very cost effectively at these levels for the future. So it's something that, if you're interested, check us out and see what we're up to, and we can give you further information on that. But uranium is looking very, very strong. Okay, if we move on to the energy metals in terms of the batteries and battery technology, if we look at nickel, nickel is on a run really in the monthly chart. It's been rallying and very bullish for some time. We're aiming to get to sort of this 1300 level. If we break it down into the weekly chart, you'll be able to see in some detail we've kind of gone a bit sideways, and it's formed a base, and it's heading back up, and it's got this channel going quite nicely now. So if we look at the sort of the highs where we are, roughly speaking, we're kind of somewhere like that, and nice positive move, looking for this sort of 1300 level, 13 sort of 15, 1300. So it's got potential to run a lot further with again the way electric vehicles are going to be promoted and pushed moving forward. It's going to be a massive bull market over the next decade. Looking at copper, which is another huge aspect of electric vehicles in terms of cobalt, lithium for the batteries, and nickel and copper generally for all the wiring. We're going to need a lot more of it. We're looking at a very strong positive channel well above the 200-day, which is just ticking above the kind of support area. We've hit the kind of resistance area. If we look at it on a monthly chart, you can see that we're very close to the highs, and I don't think it'll be long before it pushes through there. Looking at the stochastics, we are pretty overbought, and looking at possibly a short-term consolidation retracement, but because of the demand and certainly moving into this decade, it is a strong metal to bet on, and especially the companies in the sector. We've got quite a few which are involved with a number of other metals, looking very positive for us at the moment. So zinc, again, looking at zinc, we've got we'll go back to the weekly chart. We've broken out, and we found support. I've had a couple of touches in the support area, and we've broken out of that, and we're heading really back up to the resistance. 233. So that is going to push on. We've got a overbought, but we've there's a lot of demand, and although it's closing in there, we could see a sideways move for a month or two. But we're waiting again, I suppose, to see what the policies are coming out of America and the Paris Agreement, because if that is signed again, people are bizarrely going to do more mining in these areas for the electric batteries. So long term is a good thing for the environment. Short term, I'm personally not too sure. A lot of mining is going to be needed for it. But zinc is a good story as well. But we'll move on to cryptocurrency now. Okay, Bitcoin, what can I say? Very strong couple of months, and we've been sort of at the top end of the rising channel and aiming to get, we've broken out beginning of this month of the previous high, sort of back in the 2019 times, and the original high of 19,000 we're sort of pushing down the door. What I've done is I've added these areas of support or resistance going up to that high, and let's have a closer look at those. So we've kind of broken out of the channel today. If we look at it on a daily, we've got 2 or 3 before we get above the all-time high for Bitcoin, and we've kind of pulled back a bit, but we have reached 16,500. This is pushing on. It is overbought, but it's strongly directional. It's crossed over again. This was around about the 10th of November. So the last couple of days or so, we've got this channel, and a lot of money's coming into the space. People chasing Bitcoin, fear of missing out, usual stories. So this could push this on quite quickly to $20,000. I would expect a retracement at some point and profit taking, but the problem is at the minute there's not many people wanting to take profits in that sense. Everyone's on it for the same ride. Grayscale Bitcoin Trust are taking a massive amount of Bitcoin. There's corporate entities now coming in, and on the back of MicroStrategy, PayPal, Square, DBS Bank in Singapore, lots of commercial interest. And as soon as we start seeing commercial treasuries buying into this product, the sky's the limit really, and expect some government interest and issues for this particular cryptocurrency. But it's very difficult to see how this can be slowed down at this point in time unless whales start selling it. The whales could come in, but again, they're all in it for the same reason. Why would you want to sell in a rising market? So there will be a point where we hit some resistance. At the moment, I can't see where that will be. We may get some sideways sort of consolidation is what we're looking at, I'd imagine. If it's a mature market, we'd like to see that. A few retracements as people trade into other altcoins on the exchanges, which is normally the case. This is taking a lot of money away from altcoins as it's rapidly sort of advancing. But when that stops or slows down, that money will flow back into them, and it's a yin and yang scenario. So cryptocurrency is generally very positive and bullish obviously over the next few years. So we have a range in our portfolio of different altcoins, fintech, as well as the bigger elements like Bitcoin, obviously. So worth looking into. Check us out. Check out cryptometalresearch.com or contact us at support@cryptometalresearch. Hope it's been of interest today, and thanks for watching. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks a lot. At cryptometalresearch.com, we have a number of services to educate and inform you on how to benefit from the financial reset in this massive bull market. We fully expect our portfolio to return multiple double digits in the huge financial reset we're going through. The risks are high, but so are the returns for those with industry connections. We have years of trading experience to support you during your journey. Our services include Crypto Metal Premier, a full done-for-you service for the time poor who see the massive potential of having your assets realigned to benefit from the next big investment boom. We do everything for you so you can sit back, relax and watch your assets appreciate. Crypto Metal Partner, a done-with-you educational service for those who want to be involved and learn how to benefit from this massive opportunity and receive signals of when to get in and out of your positions to maximise your profits. Crypto Metal Portfolio, a do-it-yourself solution so you can learn and apply the portfolio to your investments directly without any support or assistance. Crypto Metal Pulse, a signal service direct to your inbox as and when the market dictates, combining decades of technical analysis trading within your broader crypto metal portfolio. Crypto Metal Personal, a virtual one-to-one for those who want to know more, want to discuss their personal situation and investigate what CryptoMetalResearch.com's investor education can do for you and your financial wealth.